This is Jeff with Shoutout Minnesota, and we are here with Shelton Benjamin here in Minnesota. Welcome to Minnesota.
Hey, it's good to be home.
I'd like to give a shout out first to Midwest All-Star Wrestling for bringing you in and meeting the fans. So you got a lot of fans here in Minnesota, of course. So we're happy that you're here and able to do that. All right, so first question I have for you is, you earned a scholarship to go to U of M for your junior and senior years. You made All-American both the years. What does that mean to you?
Well, one, the fact that I came here, I didn't expect to even be here because I was actually trying to go to Arizona State. Don't tell anyone. I'm sorry, but I ended up coming here to University of Minnesota. Jay Robinson brought me in, and it was the best thing for me. Like, it was absolutely the best decision of my life. And, you know, becoming an All-American, a two-time All-American for a university, it's a badge of honor for me. I wish I could have done it 4 times, but I had to do the junior college route first. But man, I loved it. Like I said, coming to Minnesota was the absolute best thing for me. I cherish all my time here.
Okay. Also, you also trained with Brock Lesnar.
I did train with Brock Lesnar
for the Olympics. Why did you change your mind and decide to go professionally then?
Oh, that's a very easy question. I had just become a new dad, and I decided I didn't want to wait 4 years before anyone took notice. I need money now, and I want that attention now. So, and being a lifelong pro wrestling fan, I wanted to be a pro wrestler long before I even knew what the Olympics were. So basically, I just followed my original dream.
When you got into the pro wrestling, Danny Davis was one of your trainers. Tell us how he's helped you train professionally, and what are a couple of the things that stuck with you?
Danny trained myself, and literally, the big four, like Danny, he trained us all. And honestly, Danny was a great mentor, a big father figure. He took no BS. And honestly, one of the main things I learned from Danny is when Danny had a problem, Danny let it out right then and there. He didn't hang on to it. He didn't let it fester. Like, if he had a problem, he dealt with it immediately. And because of that, I think he lived a happier life. And that's one of the things that I try to do myself. Like, if you have a problem with someone, anyone, address it immediately. Don't wait. Address it now, nip it in the bud, and move on. And of course, having so many different strong personalities in the locker room, I think it's important that he has that skill because, again, people have good days and bad days, and you never know. So the fact that, like I said, he has a problem, he'll address it and then we move on. And it must have worked because, a few of us did pretty good.
Training schedules, anything that was unique about him?
So, mind you, Danny was one of a few mentors there. Also, I got to credit Rip Rogers, huge mentor, Jim Cornette, Bobby Eaton. So I had a lot of really great guys teaching me. And for me, because, again, I was a lifelong pro wrestling fan, what was unique for me was that I'm being taught by the guys that I watched and admired. And, they were enthusiastically teaching us. So I think the enthusiasm they brought to the table, made you happy to go to work. It never felt like you were grinding. It was always just a learning environment.
Okay, up until last year, you had the longest reign of Intercontinental Champion when Gunther broke that. How did you feel at the time, and did you talk to him or say anything to him or got to speak with him?
So no, I haven't really spoken with Gunther at length about his title reign much at all. Like when I would see him in the locker room, like, great guy. We've had conversations, but at the time he wasn't that close to my record. And I was just ready to compete against him. But for me, like my legacy with the IC title, like, it's sealed. Like, for the 2000s, I'm still the man. And I think Gunther has done an amazing job both professionally and personally. Like, the guy, he completely reinvented himself And it's one of those cases where you never know, because if you look at what's the name before they turned his name to Gunther, like I wouldn't have taken that guy for being a major superstar years later. But again, with pro wrestling, you never know. That guy, he put the work in, and I mean, he's doing amazing. I wish him nothing but success. I do want to face him.
Right.
I'd like to see the former greatest versus the new. But yeah, I think the guy's phenomenal. I think he's doing great, and again, I'd love to work with him. And all I can say is, best of luck to you. Keep your eyes open. I might come for you.
All right. This next question is from a fan, and not only a fan, he's also my nephew. He would like to take it back to the pandemic era. You were part of one of the top faction during that time. Was it a mutual call to end the group end the group quickly, or were there back and forth with creative?
No, there was no group text. There was no group conversation. There was that was a decision made by the boss, and the boss is the only one who wanted to make it. Okay. None of us, no one in the company, and I don't think any fans wanted that group to end so soon. The Hurt Business had a lot more to offer. To this day, the Hurt Business still has a lot more to offer. So, it was not a usual thing to disband that group. Absolutely.
Okay. And final question. When you look back on your career, when it's all said and done, what do you want your legacy to be?
It's kind of hard. I mean, we all want to be looked at in a good light, and I hope that my legacy will be someone who came in, raised the bar of what can be done athletically, longevity, reliability. Like as they say, I hope I left the freeway. I hope I paved the road and left it in a better condition than when I arrived in it. And that's really the most important to me. And also, yeah, I like fans to think back, yeah, that guy was cool. When they look back and go, wow, we didn't, it's really hard to appreciate things as they're happening. So when you look back and see my career, and I hope I did myself proud, my family proud, and I hope the fans are entertained by what I've done in the past for years to come.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. But before we go, one last shout out to your fans here in Minnesota.
Hey, this is the GOAT Shelton Benjamin, and I am home in Minnesota. We're going to have some great wrestling tonight, and I just want to say thank you. I love you, Minnesota. This will forever be my second home, and I'll be back.